Have you slept with a Asian, Italian, coolie girl before?
This is Surpreet Dillon, and her question was not simply a question. It was cold and calculated bait used to lure Sol Murray into a honey trap, which soon turned deadly. With multiple suspects in the case, each playing a part in a deadly scheme, what began as a calculated setup spiraled into something no one saw coming. It all began on the morning of February 27, 2022, when a worried neighbor called the police after discovering a man in an hysterical condition on Newtown Street, Luton. Wasting no time, the police reached the location, and what they witnessed next was nothing short of a horror movie.
I think it's going to be in there. You all right, guys?
All we've done is we've literally just walked in, we found everything up. It's clearly that it's happened in the room in there.
I was going to say, have you made him trauma naked, or is he?
No, exactly happened. He's been dead for a couple of hours.
All right, okay. Have you been through the whole address, or have you just been through side?
Just checking there. We followed the blood trail back to the room. There's that room on the right-hand side down there where it's absolutely covered in claret.
So we've got a confirmed deceased male in the front room. Could you get the seat on channel, please? Right.
It's going to be C. Blood on the right.
Yes.
Right, just hold this. Where have you got to? To this room here.
The victim was quickly identified as 33-year-old Sol Murray, father of 6 children. He'd moved into the apartment complex only 3 days earlier, seeking a fresh start. But that hope was short-lived, as this new beginning marked a tragic end for him, with his body lying at the entrance, painting a gruesome picture. A deep knife wound and significant a violent attack on him that had occurred hours earlier, likely during the night. Now, detectives faced an immediate and alarming reality as the building's strict security system eliminated the possibility of an intruder slipping in. This chilling detail suggested that the killer could be hiding inside the building and someone else's life was still in danger. Officers moved swiftly through the corridors, clearing rooms and checking for signs of further violence. Tension filled the building as law enforcement moved carefully, determined to uncover possible threats lurking inside.
Stay tight. Is anyone else in here armed? Have you been in here on yourself?
Armed police, show me your hands.
Just come out this way. Just come straight out. Straight out.
Loads, it just leads on and on and on.
Right, hold it. I'm still working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay in there.
Oh, police, come to join me. I have nothing in your hands.
All right, first door on the left is clear, one is clear, okay? Just hold there. Number 2, armed police, come to the door, nothing in your hands now!
Abby.
My room. That's it. Right. Okay, what I want, it's a bit of a labyrinth, this place, isn't it? So let's have a slow walk through, make sure we haven't missed anywhere.
With no suspect found at the scene, investigators quickly shifted their attention and discovered something that could become the case's turning point: the CCTV footage from the building's entrance. The footage became the centerpiece of their investigation, offering a significant glimpse into the moments before and after the attack.
Do you have the keys?
I have all of them.
Where are the keys?
All of them.
Do you have them with you now?
Yeah. Do you need the keys for the CCTV? Yeah, we can reach.
Is it easy to operate?
Yeah, straight. I've got the keys here.
The footage revealed 2 women entering the property with Sol, staying inside for nearly 4 hours. But what caught investigators' immediate attention was the peculiar sequence that followed. One of the women exited the building, lingering outside and clicking pictures that made it seem she was trying to show the location to someone. Meanwhile, the second woman used a broom to prop open the door from inside. The act wasn't just suspicious, it exposed a crucial loophole. The building's strict access registered residents to move freely in and out, and these women were clearly not residents. Then came the most crucial part of the CCTV footage. The other women entered the building again, this time not alone, but with 2 men. This became the investigators' first solid lead, hinting at premeditation behind the crime. With the CCTV footage in hand, detectives seized Saul Murray's phone, believing it could be the key to uncovering the truth. The digital trail led them straight to a WhatsApp contact that Saul had been frequently chatting with in the days leading up to his murder. The number traced back to 35-year-old Supreet Dillon, who didn't have a much clearer past. Her rap sheet spoke volumes. With 4 prior convictions and 3 recorded offenses, she'd been in prison for some time. Investigators learned she had orchestrated the entire encounter, initiating the conversation and setting up the meeting with Saul over social media. Worse yet, she was the one seen on CCTV propping the door open, paving the way for 2 men to storm the victim's apartment. The evidence was overwhelming, and officers quickly moved in, determined to bring her into custody before she could vanish.
Open the gates!
Supreet? This is Supreet Dillon? You're under arrest for murder, alright? I'm going to ask you to face that wall. What I want you to do is sidestep nice and slowly to your right. And stop there for me.
Just stand here against this wall. You got anything on your shirt now?
Supreet appeared visibly shocked and confused, showing no clue of what was unfolding. As a mother of 3, officers escorted her cautiously to the police vehicle.
That's it.
Supreet, we're going to sit you in this back seat, alright? And take a seat for me. Just mind your foot. That's it.
Upon reaching the police station, she remained perplexed about the situation surrounding her. Her criminal record only deepened their suspicions. With a history of orchestrating robberies through honey trap setups, investigators couldn't ignore the possibility that this case followed a similar pattern. They revisited her past victims, combing through old cases for any overlooked details while preparing to confront her. Supreet and Saul first contacted each other on February 9th, 2022 on Instagram, and with this timeline, one detail immediately caught the detective's attention. On that very day, Saul had posted a video flaunting his Rolex watches on social media. This only fueled suspicions that he might have been targeted as part of a robbery setup, which she was known to do earlier too. She likely assumed he'd acquired his wealth through illicit means or was married. By now, detectives had already accessed Supreet's phone, which opened doors to more suspects. That's when they landed on 21-year-old Temideo Awe. Supreet and her had been in regular contact. Even in the hours leading, they were at the same location, exchanging multiple calls afterward. However, unlike Supreet, Temideo had no prior record, and she was a third-year university student in Coventry, worlds apart from Supreet's criminal past. But her face matched the second woman seen in the CCTV footage. To confirm their doubts, detectives made their way to Coventry, ready to confront her.
So just to clarify, it's for short, Saul Murray. Saul Murray.
They searched her apartment, and what they uncovered had the potential to crack the case wide open.
There is a black jacket with a fur hood hanging up in a wardrobe.
Next, they brought in Awe to the station and laid out everything that had been unfolding.
Yeah, just stand here.
Hello, are you okay? No. Do you understand why you've been arrested?
I'm trying to make sense of it.
Okay, no worries. Have you been arrested before? No, never. Okay. How are you feeling now? Just shaken up, yeah. Due to the offence that you're here for? Just everything?
They needed to uncover how Supreet, a convicted felon, and a university student like Awe were connected. A deep dive into Supreet's past revealed a link back in 2017.
I'll show you the search warrant in a sec. Have you got to take calm? You're going to get arrested.
For what? You just calm down. My business and you're telling me to calm down.
Yes, and I'm telling you to calm down. Yeah. Let's remind you again, you're recording. What's your name?
Supreet.
Say again?
Supreet Dillon. Yeah, no, just keep him there.
Come sit down here for me, please. Come on. Come on, let me explain to you here. Is there anybody else that doesn't want to be here at the moment?
I don't want to be here.
I'm quite happy if anybody else wants to leave. We'll still do what you need to do.
It's important to note that Awe was present during this warrant at the Jamaican restaurant when Supreet was arrested, though Awe was just 16 at the time. Additionally, this place was reportedly a known hotspot for drug dealing. This somewhat explained their meeting. However, the motive behind their involvement in Saul's murder remained unclear. Swab tests from the murder scene of Saul also confirmed sexual interaction between them, unraveling the reason behind him being naked while running after them. From his phone, investigators uncovered solid ties to gangs and was involved in drug dealing. Not many people knew his whereabouts, but Surpreet was one of the few who did, possibly receiving the address from Saul himself. This raised concerns about her involvement with the other rival gangs of Saul. Despite a troubled past, life seemed to be turning around for him as he'd found work as a plasterer and was attempting to leave the criminal world behind.
I don't care about none of these things no more, fam. Yeah, I'll tell you now, I'm on one mission, yeah? Man's found property and that, man's found a spot, so now I need the capital to start doing it. I'm gonna shot that everybody, box and papers, you think I have business, I don't care. I'm shotting that. I'm gonna shot as much jewels as I can to rack up a 150 so I can do up this place properly, and then, yeah, then I'll be happy again.
However, the reality was starkly different from what he portrayed online. Despite showcasing a luxurious lifestyle, his true circumstances were far less glamorous, revealing a stark contradiction to the image he'd carefully crafted on social media.
Yeah, it's been alright, man. It's been alright. Literally just got the keys yesterday, so I had to just do a lot of cleaning up. I've got to do a lot of painting this weekend, and I'm working this weekend as well, Saturday anyway.
Back at the station, investigators began questioning Surpreet, hoping to unravel the tangled web of events surrounding the case. Detectives pressed Surpreet for answers. If she had indeed intended to rob Saul, why had he been murdered? Was she tied to any of his rival gangs? With these questions in mind, the interrogation commenced, each answer potentially bringing them closer to the truth.
This one? Yeah, please.
Do you know the name Tammy Deo?
No comment.
With the surname All, A-W-E?
No comment.
How do you know her?
No comment.
Investigators were caught off guard by her responses, as they'd hoped to uncover the mystery of this heinous murder through her, but she refused to answer. In an attempt to get the truth out of Surpreet, they pressed her further, but couldn't get anything.
We believe that you might have had contact with Saul. Is that correct?
No comment.
Have you ever had contact with Saul?
No comment.
Have you ever had with him?
No comment.
At 2:45, you've gone out into the communal walkway. You go to the front door, you open the front door and you prop it open using one of the brooms in the hallway already. Tell me about why you did that.
No comment.
Who were you leaving the door open for?
No comment.
Why were you leaving it open?
No comment.
So what we believe has happened is that two males have been let inside the property by you leaving the front door propped open. There's been some kind of argument and something has happened. And then Saul's murdered.
Who are these two men?
No comment.
When one of these men leaves, he's clearly got a large knife with him. And we know that Saul was stabbed and received a fatal stab wound. We know that they're out of the flat around the corner, which is Saul's blood, dripping off that knife, no doubt. Okay, so you cannot fail to notice what had gone on in that flat. It's your opportunity now to tell your side of what happened in that flat, because we know you were there. Why would these two men come into that flat? What reason have you brought him into that property between the two of you?
Was there any intent from you to steal anything from him when you sold that property?
No comment.
Did he owe you any money?
No comment.
Why was Saul found naked?
No comment.
To describe it to you, Saul was found at the front door, communal front door, completely naked and bled to death there and then. We are going to stop this interview there.
Detectives also tried to gather evidence from other victims who had fallen prey to the duo, but with no substantial answers from Surpreet, they decided to end the interview. They then shifted to Awe for an interview, and unlike Surpreet, she began speaking even before she was asked any questions.
You want to say something? Yes. Honestly, I'm traumatized that I'm here, that I'm linked to any type of murder. Yeah. I don't know the full story, and I'm very gutted that he did. Honestly, I didn't murder him. I didn't harm him in any type of way. I'm honestly just an undergraduate student. I just wanted to get my degree. Okay. I just wanted to say that. No. Okay. That's what I want to say. Okay.
Awe explained her side to the officers, insisting she'd done nothing wrong. Her demeanor seemed convincing, and it appeared she was ready to cooperate.
You have some stills from the CCTV that was taken from the location of the actual murder. Right, female 1. Right, that's Supreet. We're saying female 2 is you. Do you agree?
No comment.
Is that you?
No comment.
Does it look like you?
No comment.
We actually have that coat that we seized from your home address. That's your coat, isn't it? That's what you had on. You come out of the building at 02:27. You come out and you stand outside, and we can see that your phone starts flashing like you're taking pictures. What are you taking pictures of?
No comment.
Were you not taking pictures, or were you just shining a light on your phone?
No comment.
Were you trying to alert others to where you were?
No comment.
Trying to guide them in?
No comment.
That's what you were doing, weren't you?
No comment.
Awe's responses mirrored Supreet's. She revealed nothing, shattering detectives' hopes. This was a significant setback for the officers, but they were far from giving up.
You re-enter on your own, then the males follow you, so basically you're showing them where to come. Did you set us all up to be murdered?
No comment.
Who was it who actually did the deed?
No comment.
This is all just not... Your phone's there, Supreet's is there. That's not a coincidence. So why were you there?
No comment.
It's not looking great, is it?
No comment.
With evidence suggesting Saul had been drugged, a toxicology exam was ordered to test for GHB, a date drug in his body. The results were damning, as GHB was indeed detected in Saul's blood at a concentration of 46 milligrams per liter, and in his urine at 70 milligrams per liter. The high level in the urine indicated active use shortly before his death. The detection of the drug proved to be a critical breakthrough, given how difficult it is to trace. As the investigation deepened, 2 more victims came forward, recounting similar stories of being drugged by the same pair. They claimed a similar scenario happened with Saul. They'd shared drinks and possibly smoked together before one of the suspects spiked the drink. Despite the suspect's silence, police decided to present their case to the Crown Prosecution Service. Meanwhile, they recovered voice notes exchanged between Supreet and Awe, recorded just days before they first contacted Saul. The first note, forwarded to Awe, was from a male voice.
It's too old. The thing's flipping nearly 25 years old. Probably get that in the shop for like 3.5. Because it's so old.
Bro, they're taking the piss with us. I'm so upset. We'll get more for the drugs than we will the watch. Oh, what do you mean 25 years old? The watch is older than me. Oh, it is what it is. Oh, the watch is upset me, I'm not gonna lie. But he should have come out of the one that, he's annoying.
Though it seemed like a classic honey trap scenario, the investigators weren't ready to jump to conclusions. They had to consider every possibility and dig deeper to uncover the truth of what happened behind those closed walls.
Hi, Supreet. Okay. I'm sure you're aware the officers have been to the Crown Prosecution Service getting a charge and decision around what's going to happen. That's come through, and the CPS have authorised a charge of murder against you. Okay? Do you need anything? It's your kids. Alright. Anything else you want to ask me? No? We'll get that done.
Hi! I'm still here. I'm trying to sort some stuff out with him, so I'm going to be home for like a couple of weeks. I love you. Yeah, I'm going to sort it out so then I can come home, okay? I've just got to help them with some stuff. Okay, that's what they come because they got it all mixed up. I'm going to sort it out with them, okay?
Awe was also informed about her charges, and she looked visibly distraught.
Hi. So as you know, the officers have been to Crown Prosecution Service to present their case and to get charge and decision. That has come through, and the CPS have authorised a charge of murder against you. Okay? I know it's a lot to take in. Do appreciate that. How are you feeling? You want to sit down? Yeah, take you back to your cell. Alright, thank you.
Although both women suspects were behind bars, the police's hunt was still on. The haunting footage clearly showed two knife-wielding men fleeing, making their capture urgent. But this mission was far from easy because the female suspects refused to reveal their names, leaving detectives reliant on their exclusive investigation. They focused on canvassing the area around Saul's apartment, where they discovered some intimidating footage of a car parked near the victim's residence at the exact time the crime occurred. But they didn't realize this single piece of footage could shatter the mystery surrounding the unknown third suspect.
There you go, I'll come you. There's a car. Oh, there it is. Is that the car? Did you see that?
No.
Is that, but here we go. You see that?
Yeah.
That's an A-class, 100%.
Okay.
Definitely that car, mate. 100%.
Okay, so...
That's that car.
The officers took immediate action to identify the car and began their search on the national AMPR database, which led them to discover that the owner of the vehicle was 29-year-old Cleon Brown. After learning he could be involved in Saul's case, they swiftly launched a search for Cleon. They soon discovered he was in London and dispatched officers for his immediate arrest.
Well, you're under arrest for murder, right?
During the investigation, police found that Cleon had rented the car used in the crime. The car was sent for forensic tests, and his phone was also taken after his arrest. These two key pieces of evidence were about to reveal a far more sinister truth, exposing every hand behind Saul's horrific murder.
Did you kill Saul Murray on Sunday, the 27th of February 2022? Tell me who was responsible if you were not. I'm going to show you a still image of an unknown person. Who is this?
No comment.
Sir Prince has been arrested. And Tamadei has also been arrested. Do those names mean anything to you?
No comment.
Although Cleon didn't give away the fourth suspect's name, he still could not save himself from his evil deeds, and it was time for his downfall.
Hello, Cleon, you all right? Yeah, come to me, mate, yeah. Okay, so as you're probably aware, the officers have been with CPS, presenting the evidence, and CPS have come back with a charging decision and have decided to authorise a charge of murder.
I need to phone the solicitor.
Need to phone the solicitor? We'll get that sorted for you, of course you will.
With three suspects behind bars, it felt like justice for Saul Murray was finally within reach. But one piece of the puzzle was still missing. The fourth suspect was completely off the radar. Investigators, running out of time and options, turned back to Saul's past, hoping it would lead them to the final piece of the mystery. But what they found didn't just offer answers, but raised even darker questions. Saul wasn't new to the system. He'd once been arrested for conspiracy to commit robbery, where victims were threatened at gunpoint. On the streets of Luton, he was no stranger to law enforcement, but already known as a well-established criminal figure who was also involved in robberies.
September 2015. Your client has been identified from CCTV as the male who's forced his way into a second-floor room where he has tied the male up and told him to comply or he would be stabbed. It's a still that's taken from the front desk of the hotel. It has two people in it. It's my exhibit, MVH4. That's where they're checking in. These are more stills that are taken from exhibit JL1. Who's that person?
Go ahead, call in to police. What's your emergency?
I just got robbed from a hotel. I opened the door, some black guy come in, tied me up.
He tied you up?
Yeah, I was with a girl.
Who's the girl?
I have a feeling she knew him.
Given his past, it seemed he used women to lure victims before stepping in to carry out the robbery himself, a striking similarity to his own death. The investigation had not yet reached its most damning twist as they received another lead for apprehending their final suspect. They found that the car's GPS data was just the beginning, and it concealed more surprises that would lead straight to the final suspect.
These are too tight, baby. I'm not going anywhere. Clearly in my... I'm clearly in my house too.
GPS data also uncovered the car was parked near Saul's apartment to pick up two female suspects, that later pinged at 31-year-old Ikem Afia's residence. Meanwhile, Cleon's phone records also showed calls to Supreet and Afia before the crime, directly linking him to the Sol Murray case and leading to his arrest as a long-standing suspect.
Open the door! Police, open the door! Do it. Open it. Open it. Mind the door! Mind! Say that, mate. What's going on? Calm down. Stay here. Just calm down. Calm down. I'm calm. You see I'm calm. Look, you see I'm clearly calm. Don't need to hold on. I'm calm. And these are too tight, nigga. I'm not going anywhere. I'm clearly in my home chilling. It's making it worse, man. I'm clearly in my house chilling. You don't need to act like that.
Don't worry about it, because I don't know where they want to take it. You probably just take a picture of this.
No, I'm not saying you go to bed.
I'm not saying you go to bed for sure.
What's that? Does anything in bed for sure? You do with me?
Following his arrest, Afia was interrogated in the hope of a confession, but the officers were unaware of the long-standing struggle that lay ahead.
In relation to Saturday the 26th to Sunday the 27th of February, did you kill Sol Murray? Did you stab him? Tell me about any involvement you had which resulted in Sol being killed.
Despite Afia's cold response, the detectives remained determined to charge him, but there was a problem. They lacked solid evidence against him. Fearing he'd be granted bail, they shifted focus to find Afia's movement in the days leading up to the murder. Yet amid the gaps in evidence, one significant discovery was about to tie Afia to the crimes that he couldn't outrun.
So CCTV inquiries, we overlaid the telematics with the cell data to try and see whether we could get any CCTV of Ikem with Cleon to prove an association, and you got some CCTV from KFC?
Yeah, so the telematics put the car in a location a couple of days before the incident. So we followed them on that camera and saw them go to KFC.
While reviewing the CCTV footage from 5 days before the murder, Afia had been seen with Cleon at KFC Cafe, and the interesting detail was that when the officers paid attention to his coat, it was the similar coat caught at the murder scene, which led them to ask Afia about the coat and more questions.
Is that your coat with the lighter panel towards the shoulders? Have you got a coat like that in your property? In the past, is it correct that you've told Cleon Brown? Why would you have said that?
Tell us any reason you have for going to Luton. Tell us any friends or family you may have in Luton.
We can put Cleon Brown, Supreet, Dylan, and Tamadeo all in that area with their mobile phones, but your phone's switched off, isn't it? You switched your phone off because you understand that we track phones sometimes, so we can track them.
Was this a personal argument between Saul and yourself?
If there's something that you know about that's going to disprove your involvement, now's the time to say it. At this time, we're going to stop this interview.
With Afia's denial, the officers decided to reconstruct the crime scene. Just as they were ready to close in, a shocking twist hit. Afia was granted bail. This immediate announcement puts all the evidence against him in the balance, so they rushed the reconstruction, and finally it paid off. The coat from the CCTV footage matched, directly indicating that Afia was indeed involved in Sol's death.
We have received an email from the counsel for Afia saying that he accepts being the fourth man, he accepts being the stabber, and is going to plead to conspiracy to steal and manslaughter.
It's not manslaughter. It's not manslaughter. It's murder. It's too premeditated. Far too premeditated.
The case seemed closed with 4 suspects charged. 7 months later, Dylan admitted to the honey trap, but denied involvement in the theft or murder. Afia also changed his story, claiming he acted in self-defense after Sol woke up despite being under the influence of drugs. However, evidence proved the crime was premeditated, not accidental. On March 3, 2023, a verdict was reached. All 4 suspects were found guilty. Surpreet Dillon was sentenced to 10 years for manslaughter and robbery. Temidayo Awe received a 7-year sentence for her role in a honey trap. Cleon Brown was sentenced to 11 years for manslaughter and robbery. The mastermind, Ikem Afia, responsible for Saul's death, was sentenced to 14 years for robbery and 25 years for murder.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, क्या हाल है आप लोगों के? खैरियत हैं? ठीक हैं? बस मैं अपने घर पे बैठा हूँ और काम कर रहा हूँ और बस ये है कि थोड़ी मसरूफ़ियत हो गई थी। मसरूफ़ियत को थोड़ा सा करने के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ। मसरूफ़ियत आपको पता है होती है, बंदा हर काम में मसरूफ़ ही रहता है, समझ लें एक तरीके से। मसरूफ़ियत ही है भाई, क्या कह सकते हैं। बस बंदा इंसान मसरूफ़ ही रहता है, मसरूफ़ रहना चाहिए और रहना चाहिए तो रहना ही चाहिए, क्या कह सकते हैं। बस ज़िंदगी में मसरूफ़ियत के अलावा और क्या काम है दोस्तों। मसरूफ़ ही होता है। ये है भाई, मसरूफ़ियत का तकाज़ा ही यही है, तकाज़ा और मसरूफ़ियत ही यही है भाई। ठीक है, और सुनाए भाई, खैरियत है? ठीक है, सब सेट होगा माशाल्लाह। बस यार मैं तो रुका हुआ हूँ, अभी रुक के कहाँ थोड़ा वीडियो बना रहा हूँ। वीडियो बना के अभी देखते हैं क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है। काम चल रहा है, काम कर रहे हैं, वीडियो बन रही है और काम चल रहा है। देखते हैं, काम बस चलता रहे ये ज़रूरी है, काम चलता रहे, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है दोस्तों। इम्पोर्टेंट बात है ये, बात याद रखना। और सुनाए, वीडियो बन रही है भाई, वीडियो जैसी भी बने, वीडियो होती है। पसीना आ रहा है, गर्मी हो रही है भाई, यहाँ पे गर्मी तो बहुत हो रही है, क्या कह सकते हैं भाई। गर्मी है, पसीना है, आ रहा है, पसीना ही आ रहा है, समझ लो काम यही है भाई। अब क्या कह सकते हैं, पसीना है। आप लोग कैसे हैं? आप लोग बताएं। आप लोग उम्मीद करता हूँ ठीक होंगे और खैरियत से होंगे, बस यही उम्मीद करता हूँ। उम्मीद करनी चाहिए, बस उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है मेरे दोस्तों, उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है, उम्मीद पे ही दुनिया कायम है मेरे दोस्तों। करनी चाहिए, बस उम्मीद ही। चलें, मैं अभी रखता हूँ बात को, ठीक है।